on YouTube. Let's go to it. I got to do another video. We got to keep up with this Raiders talk. Simple as that.
They made the playoffs.
Simple as that. We got to figure out our organization. You can't tell me I'm a fake fan because I'm on it every day.
James, you work for the Raiders every Sunday. You fly out of here on Friday after the show. You do Raiders post-game broadcasts, if I'm not mistaken. So obviously you know all the details about the situation that the world is not privy to. You believe Antonio Pierce got a raw deal with the Raiders?
I do. I believe he got a raw deal. I'm so tired of these organizations hiring a coach and firing after 1 year. What do you expect? You hired the coach because your team was probably bad.
Anyway.
It's not a lot of coaches coming in there inheriting the Kansas City Chiefs or the Green Bay Packers. It's just not a lot of coaches doing.
Well, Andy Reid is like one of the greatest coaches of all time. Even before the whole Super Bowl situation, he I ain't gonna lie, he inherits very great teams. I'm just keeping 100 with you.
Doing that, inheriting good teams. You have your quarterback play is bad. You got a lot of holes in that roster. You bring me in here to develop and get these dudes right because you liked what I did last year at the end of the season when I took over as an interim, and you fired me after 1 year really with a depleted roster. It's unfair to these coaches getting fired after 1 year. You don't even give me the opportunity to show what I can do. It really eliminates any other time that I can get another job as a head coach because you ain't even let me show what I can do to be able to build an organization. I absolutely hate
him go
it.
To another
you keep
team
the GM, and I like Tom, but you keep the GM and you fire Antonio Pierce, and he knows exactly all the holes that was in this roster that Antonio Pierce had to overcome, especially even with dealing with injuries as well. I absolutely hate it, man. It's 1 year, he's done. You did not let him prove himself. And not only that, everybody got to look at him. I look at the GM, Tom, you hired Mike McCoy, 27 and 37.
That's 10%.
That's my
I don't know. It's just
okay.
Brother.
Well, he was bad, Shady. Keep it real. 27 and 37. You hire Brandon Staley and you hire Anthony Lynn. None of them really coaches really did well. No. You know what I'm saying? And then you give Antonio Pierce 1 year, and now you letting him walk after 1 year. You definitely didn't have a fair chance.
Yeah, I hate first-year head coaches getting fired. I mean, regardless of what happens, it just sort of speaks to the dysfunction of the Raiders organization. Okay, 8 different head coaches since Mark Davis took over in 2011 have worked for
8. Hugh Jackson, Dennis Allen, Tony Sparano, Jack Del Rio. I remember him. John Gruden. John Gruden had to get out of here. Josh McDaniels, Antonio Pierce.
And been fired by owner Mark Davis. Hugh Jackson, Dennis Allen for 2, then Tony Sparano, Jack Del Rio, Gruden, we all know what happened there. Then Josh McDaniels and Antonio Pierce. Like, when are you going to just have a willingness to develop a head coach and hire the right guy and give him the right?
So you telling me, say Hugh Jackson was still the head coach, you think he'll be able to really turn around the Raiders?
Pieces.
I mean, I guess they know all the holes.
Wings and pizza here.
You mean pizza and wings?
They know all the holes
wings,
in
one
defense.
pizza, wings and pizza.
It's stuffed crust pizza. Pizza is the lead.
Wings and pizza. Guys,
does it really
get a large
matter,
one-topping stuffed crust pizza and 16 boneless wings starting at $19.99. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
I don't know.
I heard that the Raiders head coach, Antonio Pierce, or former, wanted to move up in the draft and get a quarterback of the future.
That is a fact. Last year, he wanted
this past year.
He wanted Jaden Daniels.
And he was blocked from doing that.
Yes.
Okay? And that just speaks to Antonio Pierce knowing that you need a quarterback in this league to develop and to rest your hat on. The quarterbacks he's had in the last 2 seasons, Gardner Minshew, extremely, love the dude, extremely high contract. Aiden O'Connell, Jimmy Garoppolo, Desmond Ridder, and Brian Hoyer.
Damn.
That's what you're going to be remembered at, unfortunately. So I hate first-year coaches getting fired. Just let a guy have some runway and to learn and to develop and to understand what it's like being a head coach. Seems to me they need a experienced guy.
I'm about to go in. So, you want me to go first? Or you want me?
Yo, dog. I want you to listen. Do your thing. Not your thing, your thing.
I'm about to go in. I got a lot to say. Did Antonio Pierce get a raw deal? Yes. I'm going to take y'all on a little bit of a roller coaster, so buckle up and ride with me. He did get a raw deal, but you know what to say in life. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is. He did not deserve to be fired, but he did not deserve to be hired. Oh, So
What?
you fired a guy who didn't deserve to be fired, but you hired a guy who didn't deserve to be hired. He was a linebacker coach. I played linebacker. He had no defensive coordinating experience. You hired him because of vibes. You hired him off vibes. But here is the dilemma. Optically, it looks terrible, and we got to break some things down because now we've seen Jerod Mayo, a black linebacker head coach, one and done. We have seen Antonio Pierce, a black head coach, be one and done. So you're starting to hear a lot of the online vitriol saying, why in the world is this happening to my black head coaches? So I had to do a little bit of research. 53 white head coaches that have been hired. This is the last 10 years, though all of them just glance at some. Over that same last 10-year period, 14 black head coaches have been hired. Again, do not bother your whole time reading all the names on the list, but 10-year period, 53 white head coaches, 14 black head coaches. 53 white head coaches, 14 black head coaches. That in and of itself, many would suggest is a problem. But here's probably the bigger problem.
Crazy.
See, when you look at the 53 white head coaches, 6 of them have been one and done.
Damn.
When you look at the 14 black head coaches, 5 of them have been one and done. So by number, white head coaches are one and done more often than black head coaches. But by percentage, it completely pales in comparison. 11% of white head coaches are one and done. 35% of black head coaches are one and done. So now what is the bigger problem? Is the bigger problem that you hired Antonio Pierce when he shouldn't have been hired, or is the bigger problem that you fired Antonio Pierce when he shouldn't have been fired? Either way, clearly this is objective. This is not my opinion. These are the statistics. There are no feelings involved in this take. It is strictly factual. These are the numbers that are presented to you. You do with those numbers what you will. I do think Antonio Pierce got a raw deal. I'll be honest. I said he never should have been hired. But I'll also be honest and say, of course he shouldn't have been fired.
He was the play bait.
Get $150 in bonus
it's
bets
like,
guaranteed
they
when
just
you
threw
bet
him into the fire.
$5.
I see what they're talking about. That's the
problem right
That is
there.
messed up.
That just pissed my whole take off. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I feel you.
Anyway, yes, I think he got a raw deal.
Is that what a
you
raw
look at the
deal
Raiders
is?
team, they're not really a good team, right? And if you're a coach, I need a quarterback.
No,
so
I'm
before
fucking
you
with
even
you. I'm
hired
fucking with
me,
Lee Sean.
we were already a bad
I'm
team.
fucking with you, Lee Sean.
Right?
I can't
I
lie
mean,
to
the last
you.
couple 10 years, we could just say we're a bad franchise, right? Yep. And it's like, you give me the keys to run this thing. Now, how am I gonna run this team if I only get 1 year to prove it, right? If the draft, I gotta get a quarterback. Everybody knows that to start the team, you gotta get a quarterback. Last year, he didn't want to get a quarterback because you said they blocked him, correct? And you see what Jaden Daniels doing right now. He wanted to get him, he coached him with him at Arizona State. Yep. So you're already familiar with the kid, not only as a player, but as a personality, as a leader, you knew what type of guy he was. So you got the cheat code to know who he is, right?
That was
Let
crazy.
me go.
That's why we had to go for Bob Ballard.
Okay, you don't let me draft me. Okay, cool. Now we got another situation where we got some top tier quarterbacks in this draft. Particularly, we're going to talk about Shedeur Sanders and we're going to talk about Cam Ward. Those are 2 guys you want to get. And if you can go out there and get them, maybe you have a chance to get them 2 years to develop them. Now you fire him, and it's like, yo, the next guy that comes in here, you don't give him the same opportunity. What's going to be the difference? Because all that's going to happen is a rotating door, huh? Come in, get fired. Come in, get fired. Give these coaches a chance to coach. That's why you got me here. Hold on, real quick. It's like having a really stud player, and he's a rookie, right? If they shut the door on Peyton Manning as a rookie, he will never become Peyton Manning. You know what I'm saying? If you give all these other guys opportunities, Patrick Mahomes didn't even start as a rookie.
Right.
They said, I remember Tyreek Hill saying, yo, man, Pat came a long way in 2 years. He said, when we first got him, I said, yo, I didn't even know he was that good. There's evidence of him saying that. Not because he wasn't talented enough, because he's a rookie, he don't know what's going on. My thing is, if you shut the door on Patrick Mahomes his first year, then you don't get the 50 touchdowns the second year. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
You got to give these coaches a chance to actually go out there and coach.
I got a question for you, James, and I got to cut you off. Because at what point, Antonio Pierce, Jerod Mayo, at what point do you say y'all played yourself? We knew this was going to happen.
You talking about the ownership playing themselves?
Antonio Pierce.
How did you know?
You knew they weren't committed to you, for real talk. James, you know that. I remember, Shady, after Chip Kelly got fired, it was 2015. Deuce Staley took an interview with the Philadelphia Eagles before the season even ended. I'm sitting there because I wasn't in the league at the time. I got released on Thanksgiving week before Chip Kelly got fired, 3 weeks before Chip got fired. I'm sitting like, Deuce, why are you taking this interview, bro? You know they just checking a box. Like, why are you taking this interview? They're not hiring you. But due to the Rooney Rule, you have to interview a black head coach when there is a vacancy. Deuce obviously didn't get hired. Doug Peterson got hired. Shady, I think you've told this, you've said this publicly, maybe even Deuce said it. The reason Deuce left the Eagles wasn't because he got promoted, was because after they got rid of Doug, Deuce again didn't get hired, and Deuce was like, I'm gone. Clearly, y'all aren't going to elevate me here. James, I knew Antonio Pierce wasn't going to be there forever. You should have known it. You be in the building. Yeah. So at the point in which you got hired, off of vibes. Yeah. He was a linebacker coach. He wasn't a defensive coordinator like DeMeco Ryans. He was a linebacker coach. Arizona State, he got kicked out of there with Herm Edwards because of recruiting violations. So, James, I'm just sitting here wondering, at what point should Antonio Pierce have known, okay, my back is against the wall. I'm going to have to do something like Daboll did and win Coach of the Year with Daniel Jones if I'm going to keep my job.
At least he could
I knew it. This is how the game goes.
I hear what you're saying, but you're still not thinking one and done. Like, Antonio Pierce signed a 2-year contract. He's thinking minimum, I got 2 years to show them what I got. This year, we don't have no quarterback. Y'all didn't let me draft the quarterback I got. We all knew it was going to be hard, not just Antonio Pierce. Everybody on this desk, everybody in the Raiders organization, they all knew it was going to be hard. There wasn't a lot of people saying the Raiders is going straight to the playoffs, if any at all. We knew that it was going to take some time. At minimum, I got 2 years to try to show them what type of coach I am. I gave you a small sample size off of the vibes and me coaching and winning some games last year. That's why you hired me. Because, it was good vibes, but he competed in a lot of games, too, and won some games as well. And that's why they hired him. So you're thinking you at least got 2 years. Mayo, you're under Bill Belichick. They say, oh, shoot. We're going to bring you in. You learn from Bill Belichick. We are going to let you be. There's no way you're taking this job thinking that you're going to be one and done. No. I at least have a couple years to show you what I have. But obviously the organization is like, no, you got 1 year and you're one and done, and you did not have an opportunity to show nothing. That's not fair to me. I don't care if you're white, black, Mexican, Asian. I don't care what you are. You cannot give somebody 1 year to show you what type of coach they got. If that's the case, Fox should have been. What's my man name in Denver? He should have been fired last year. There's a lot of coaches that come in there that don't change the organization around 1 year, and you so fired him. Why are you keeping them?
What I'm suggesting isn't that it's right. Obviously, it's wrong. I'm suggesting, one, he shouldn't have been. Antonio Pierce had to have known. He had to have known. Bro, you weren't really their first option like that. You were in the building. Devontae Adams vouched for you. Y'all won some games. It was vibes.
A lot of coaches.
It was vibes.
There's a ton of coaches.
Let me ask you this. So, okay.
You're just not going to take it?
If he did everything squeaky clean, right, like some other coaches may be doing, and they got years of head coach experience and did this and that and third, and then they get to a team and they trash the first year, you going to get rid of them?
No, I don't think they would have.
No.
But why?
Because I think they would have actually wanted that. Whoever them is, I think they actually would have wanted that.
That's the easy way out. It is, because my thing is like, however, once you get hired, it don't matter what the qualifications was for you to get hired. Yeah,
you're in the building and you're the guy.
Maybe your rap sheet and your resume is bigger than mine. Maybe mine's smaller. But if we both get the job, now we both are coaches. Give me the same time to build my team up like you would do somebody got a crazy resume. What's the difference? Because once we the coach. We can't look back on like, man, we probably shouldn't have hired him because he's this, that. You can't do that. Now I'm the coach.
Owners are so impatient.
And another thing is like this is football. It's not basketball where I can get this superstar in the free agency and he want to take me to the playoffs. It don't work like that.
Let me ask you this. How long do you think you should?
3 years. Every coach should get 3 years.
I'm saying if you know it was a wrong decision, how long should you sit on a wrong decision?
Well, that's the problem with owners nowadays.
How you know it's wrong?
It's really difficult to tell after 1 year if you know you got it wrong as an owner. These owners want fast results. If you're not coach of the year, if you don't have a quarterback, they expect it. That's why so many first-year guys are getting hired. And then they see, ooh, I got these big fishes out here with these big names. Let me fire these guys and get in on these guys. They don't want to mess out, and that's the problem. That's why there's 6 or 7 or 8 guys that are open every year.
I think we're overlooking a lot of this, too. Look at the rosters of these dudes.
Sure.
Look at the playoff list right now, all right? Eagles, who they quarterback?
Hurts.
Bucks, all right, they quarterback is Baker Mayfield. That might be the best coaching job right there that my man did, right? And them and the Vikings, because Sam Darnold is proof. Other than that, everybody has a good quarterback. You need a good quarterback to win. Not only that, forget the quarterback. You need a good roster. You didn't give this dude no opportunity, him or Mayo, to build this roster the way they want.
And sorry we're taking so long in this conversation. I look at a former linebacker who became head coach in Antonio Pierce. I look at a former linebacker who became head coach in DeMeco Ryans. Their path to becoming head coach was not the same. Their success in year one was not the same. They, as head coaches, are not the same. Antonio Pierce, Jay, doesn't even have coordinating experience. So when ish hits the fan, he can't even default to calling the defense. At least DeMeco, when stuff hits the fan, can say, hey, you know what? I'm going to do what I do best, which is call a defense, which is why the Texans have a top 5 defense this year.
We're not disagreeing.
Kyle Shanahan, when stuff hits the fan, he says, you know what? I'm going to fire my DC. I'm going to fire my special teams coordinator, but I'm going to call the offense because that's what I do.
So should they fire him this year?
Who that?
Kyle Shanahan.
No, but at least you saw what he did. He said, I'm going to fire my DC. I'm going to fire my special teams coordinator. I know what I do well.
See, he's on, but you on a resume part of it. Like, because they have bigger rap sheets, right? Where if something falls, I can just coordinate it. I can do it.
I know, yes.
But you the head coach, though. So now, see, this is the thing is like, I don't need him to go out there and coordinate because he's the head coach.
Yeah.
Right.
Go out there and get you some solid coordinators.
And he's surrounded himself
I just seen
with
Nick
some people.
Sirianni do it, right? Everybody want to say what Nick does, this, that. Well, he does. He manages the team well, right? Because I know he does more offense than people think, but whatever. But let's say the narrative is right about it. So we go out.
The future is won by those who fight for it. We are Marines. We were made for this.
I'm letting them talk. They
Hey,
know what
really,
they
really
talking
good
about.
strong
I ain't gonna
defensive
lie
coordinator.
to you.
He's a really, really strong offense coordinator. Now look at us.
They can kill him more.
You get what I'm saying? Because last year wasn't good like that.
They know what's
We
better
had the
for our
10-game
team
win streak and all that,
than
but
we know.
it fell down flat. So all I'm saying is I get your point, but that's why I said earlier, like you're talking about this the resume where this guy's more fit because the stuff he can do compared to Antonio Pierce. But my thing is, give us, once we are the coach, give us a chance to prove
But
it.
not only that, you make a really good point, but look at who Nick Sirianni's players are. Look at who Kellen Moore's calling plays for.
They built this thing up.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But that's what I'm saying.
Andy
Antonio
built
Pierce
it.
with the greatest coordinators.
But here-
Kellen Moore ain't coming over here and ain't O'Connell about
James,
to
but
have
it's
just a career
it's
year.
revisionist history. It is revisionist history. Jalen Hurts was not a guy before Nick Sirianni.
Look at the
He was
roster,
1-3 as a rookie.
The roster
Then with
is-
Nick Sirianni, he won 9 games his second year. And Shady and I will both admit, and Eagles fans will admit, he was not a proficient passer. They went 9-7, if I'm not mistaken, or 9-8. Went to the playoffs, lost to the Bucs.
Who did they trade for?
They got A.J. Brown. But here's what I'm saying.
Right.
Mind you, they had Devontae Adams with the Raiders, but I digress. Here's what I'm suggesting is,
And he had a good year.
As a head coach, at least you should be able to default to something. What does Antonio Pierce do well? Like, we're having a backwards argument.
So
what does
You're,
he do
you're
well?
saying they should have never hired him. We're not disagreeing with
No,
you.
I am on that part. Because
Well, I mean,
so if we go to every team, right? Like Harbaugh, right? For
Special teams.
Which one?
Right? He's a special teams.
Was a special teams coach.
Yeah, so let's use him for a second. Because he have all them players. He got the Raiders team.
Harbaugh's the second longest tenured coach right now active.
Because it worked out for him.
Sure.
He had good players. You had a freaking great defense.
had time to develop.
And y'all fought and y'all went and y'all did good things. What I'm saying is, if you put him with the Raiders, what's he going to do, though? I'm asking you. If he started off for the Raiders, right? Because you just said earlier about the resumes and all that. And I'm like, and I'm with you because I'm following what you got going on, right? So if you put him on the Raiders and the defense is not doing well, the offense is not doing well, right? What he going to do?
Well, let's just say this team. No, I'm saying this team.
What is he
because
going to do
that's
with this team?
I can't answer that. What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility.
Man, yo, can you stop calling me for a minute? Yeah, sorry. You gotta go. So, I understand completely what they talk about, bro. Moral of the story is, we need to figure something out. It's been a long time coming. One and done. I feel like that's not right. At least 2 years. 3 years is pushing it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta develop if they draft a quarterback, then they got to develop the quarterback. Yeah. Either 2 or 3. It depends on how bad he did. Because four wins, that is kind of crazy. But, you know, it happens. It happens. So, Antonio Pierce, I feel like they did him very filthy. Very filthy. So, I don't know. We'll see. I feel like we need more experienced head coach. If not, just, bro, tank the whole, is there like a reset button for teams? Like, we got to get a new logo or something. We need something different. Like, blow the field up, move the, I don't know, Wisconsin or some shit, you know? Just start fresh, start new. But that's all I'm about to say. I ain't going to keep rambling. I appreciate everybody for stopping by. Like the video, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Appreciate everybody for stopping by. I just said that twice. And catch me here every day, man. 365 days, we're posting on here.